Hello, lovely people out there. It's Fabia. I'm a freelance artist from Hamburg, Germany, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I've got another big, huge watercolor for you today. I painted this one too for the book of Asps, a German musician. He wrote some fantasy songs, and some artists are illustrating those songs at the moment, and he's recording the songs, and for nearly each book there is a single song. You can find it in the book too. So I had the honor to illustrate this beautiful story, and this watercolor I show you today is the last page of the book, actually, and it's about all the souls, the dark creatures of the forest have enchanted, are flying to the spot where all the creatures celebrating, well, you cannot say life. They're just celebrating their darkness, and they enchanted one of the kids. We've got 3 main character kids in the book, and they enchanted one, and well, he's one of those souls now. And this was my favorite watercolor to paint, so I left it for as last painting. So this was the last one I made. I had for sure a storyboard. This is extremely rough, but it's okay. And I made a value board just to see where light and dark is, and a color board just as orientation for my painting, to pick the right colors. I always do that. It's very practical. Yeah, this is my equipment with this beautiful artistico watercolor paper and my Schminke watercolors and a little bit of gouache white. I've got polychromos and a fine liner and a white pan, masking fluid, and a spray bottle to sometimes I use it just to wet the paper, but also to give more structure to the watercolor already applied on the paper. If it's not yet dry, you can give some structure to it. And some salt, I sprinkle it sometimes over it to make beautiful effects. Yeah, I just recorded a little bit of the masking fluid I'm painting on. Like you could have seen in the color board, there are some parts left in white. I want to have them, clearly white, so I choose masking fluid to paint it on top. So if whatever color I paint later on top of that masking fluid is not affecting these parts. This is magic, kind of artist magic. I really love that. It's a bit of work, but yeah. Here I'm testing the colors. I'm a very big fan of a reduced palette, so I only have, I think, 4 colors I'm using in this painting. And yeah, I just test before which colors exactly I will use for what part. Yeah, this is checking my color board. Like you can see, it's very useful, so I'm making some notices. And so I can't get lost. So let's start. I recorded this one a little bit too for you, because I had, if you have such a big paper and you want to fully illustrate it with full color, you have to fix it in a very, very, very good way. And this is the way how I do it. You have to wet the paper for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you have to put it, to glue it with some special tape. And the advantage is that the paper is very wet now, and I can apply a very beautiful and light color base. What I'm doing just right now, this is really just the base. It's not meant to be to control it. So the paper is wet, I can't control it anyway. So I'm just putting the most important colors I want to pop out, or I want to fix into the wet paper. Yeah, this is really nice. I mean, if it's soaked up water for 10 minutes, it's pretty wet, and it takes a lot of time to get it dry again. And for sure, yeah, you can use a fan like I did. If not, you can just go for shopping or something else, because it really takes time. Yeah, and this time I used washi tape to get very, very clean edges. I just wanted to test it. I didn't do it before with such a big painting. Yeah, I'm just starting with here I'm starting with a yeah, let's say with my main parts, which are the flying soul balls. With the strokes, I want to be very careful with them, because they are creating the magic in that painting. So I want to give them the right color first, and the right base, and that's why I chose to start with them. And I've got a lot of details, and the problem with that painting was that it's very, very dark painting, and I really have to be aware that all the beautiful details in the foreground are not getting lost. So yeah, it was really a lot of fine-tuning. So here I darken the parts that are already not so dangerous. So sky is very huge, and here's not so much danger that I overpaint too many details. So I start with that one in the sky, and I decided later to use some masking tape, masking fluid again on the beautiful plants in the foreground, and the details I wanted to where I wanted to keep the base color, because these flying souls they affecting with their light some parts of the trees and the plants, and I wanted to keep that. So to get sure that that I can that I don't have to worry too much about it, I used the masking fluid to cover these parts. I think I didn't record that one, so I just told you that, so that I used masking fluid 2 times. First time in the beginning for pure white, and second time after it on basic colors I wanted to keep. I'm sorry for my head. It's really hard to work on the details and not going too close to the paper for you. So I think I managed it quite okay. When you've got a painting like this, it's I mean, there's a lot of darkness and some light spots, but I wanted to have still depth in the painting, and so I try to keep that rhythm. I always like this dark light rhythm. So with the trees, I always try to not to lose it. So that there is kind of a multi-plane effect between the different parts of the forest. My beloved indigo color, this very, very rich and dark blue. I used it all over the book, and I mean, this is something I did already yeah, I always do is when I have a bigger project with more paintings, I always choose my colors first. And I think for this book, I chose, let's say, I think 6 or 7 colors. And I have more or less 2 settings. The one setting parts are those in the forest with the creatures, the enchanted settings, and the other, or the dark enchanting settings, and the other ones are daylight settings in the forest. And so I think for every setting I use more or less the 4 same colors. Here I got the indigo, and I got a magenta, don't know in English. It's this pink, reddish pink. I got a cadmium yellow to mix it reddish. And what did I use more? Oh yeah, I've got a turquoise. I chose for the enchantment. It's my enchantment color. This is I chose a key color more or less for the key, a key color for the key magic, more or less. So like you can see in the right side of this painting, there's this glow where the souls are flying to, and I use the turquoise there, and the turquoise a little bit in the souls. So the turquoise is the key for magic, for the main magic. Also for the queen, I made a video for the queen dance, and the queen is, she's really the center of the creatures, and she glows in this turquoise. I don't know, do I say it right, turquoise? I don't know exactly. I hope you know what I mean. This was fun part. I really love to paint trees, and I like how it pops out. I have to darken it later a bit, but I just like to paint it. There's this fun story about the skull at the tree. I mean, you always paint stuff where you got a connection to, and with a friend I have been to a forest, to a very deep forest, and we went for a walk around a very, very spooky lake in a very spooky forest, and there was this huge not a street, but there was a pathway between very spooky trees, and in the middle of the pathway there was a skull hanging on one of the trees, and I don't know exactly, was it a deer skull? I don't know, but it was really, really spooky, but I really liked it, and so I really wanted to put the skull into my forest here, because I connected with that spooky forest. Yeah, it's getting really darker now, so I really have to take care of my light sources, that they don't get lost. But I don't get lost because I've got my color key, like I showed you before, and I really used it often in this painting here, like you can see here. Oh, and you can see here too now the masking fluid on the plants in the foreground. You can see that the color is not affecting those parts. When I go with blue on top, it stays perfectly in the base color underneath. I wanted a little bit of foggy atmosphere there. I mean, I grew up in Germany in a part where We already got a lot of yeah, darker forests, and I really love that atmosphere where the fog is coming up and everything is blurred. It's kind of beautiful, it's beautiful, spooky, and I wanted to keep that one. I always have a main eye on my lines. I wanted to keep them very fluid. I think that it's part of my art anyway. I always do it, and I always love it. And I think I always try to find a reason why I just love it like that. And I realized, yeah, I grew up in a city in Germany where Art Nouveau was a very huge influence, and I naturally came in touch with that Art Nouveau style. And in school we learned a lot about the Art Nouveau architecture, because we've got a lot of architecture there. And so yeah, I started to study Alfons Mucha, and he's still, yeah, I think he's still my absolute fav, yeah, artist. And I think this was my influence. I don't know it, but I think it is. I always love it when I see his paintings, and I saw his paintings first, I think, I don't know, probably 12 or 13. I think that, yeah, that is definitely an influence on me. At least concerning the lines and the softness. I always think when I see paintings, drawings of Mucha, that there's always movement in his artwork. I really love that. Yeah, this is always a fun part when I start to refine stuff with fine liner and polychromos. I really like it. It's my way of yeah, that's my way of illustrate, to use different media. Here you can see how I try to stay within the light dark rhythm to keep the depth of the forest. Yeah, if you're painting on such an more or less organic, huge painting, it's a lot of, yeah, it's not so controlled. It's a lot of trying things, a lot of just a bit here, just a bit there, trying what could work. It was not that easy, but it was great fun. Oh yeah, this is the this time where I put the musket fluid off, and look how it yeah, it's still very light underneath, and there's just a base color, and yeah, it's really a fun part. I have to admit that the tree was the part I really looked forward to. I really wanted to paint that popping out tree. Great fun. And there you can see, yeah, there comes the owl on the top of the tree, and it wasn't planned in the beginning, but in the drawing, yeah, it just landed on top of the tree, and I said, okay, you can stay, no problem. So some stars, not too dominant, because they are not the main part here, and we already got a lot of light in the atmosphere. So, oh, look there, putting off the washi tape, just redefining. Yeah, this is the scanned. I'm sorry that light filming was a little bit off color, but yeah, this was the scanned version. The paper soaks up a lot of color, so it's always very helpful and useful that I can redefine or to redefine the colors after scanning and to deepen the colors like I wanted them to be. And because it's still a little bit dull. The paper is wonderful, but it soaks up really a lot of color. It's not that brilliant, but hey, I've got a scanner and I've got Adobe Photoshop, so I just pimped it a little bit in value. So yeah, you can see the pimped up version. It's just made a little bit darker, I redefined the contrast a bit. I made a higher contrast. Yeah, so here are the souls flying to the forest creatures, and I guess one of them is Charlie. Charlie is the boy who gets lost in the forest, and he's now one part of the creature team. I really love that story. I'm totally excited when it comes out. Yeah, that's it. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. If you ever got questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, I showed you my materials. I probably will write them in the comments. Yeah. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel, and yeah, stay tuned. Thank you.